and equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk? And I'll add spinach and ginger. And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
I have an idea.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
sorry for you today.
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the opening draw of the 2025 Saville Grand Prix here on Curling Stadium. My name is Jim Nix, and I'm joined by Rory McCusker on second mic and every other job that they have to do here, and Rory's looking after today. We are excited to be back here at the Saville Community Center for the second week in a row, and we have an interesting matchup, Rory, between a really veteran team and a very young team.
Yeah, looks like the Deschiffart team, this is their home club, right? So if they nailed the draw to the button, they'll start with hammer. And they'll need it against one of Canada's best in team laws.
Yeah, it's got to be a little daunting, even for the U20 teams that get around and play a lot and are darn good. They've got to be a little daunting when you're taking on a team with the skill level, reputation, and history of a team like Kaitlyn Laws. For sure, it's got to be a bit of a challenge. And Laws looks like the Laws team is going to be skipped this week, or calling the game will be Selena Negevin. She did that last week, and it appears they're going to give that a run for at least until they decide that's not going to work for them. So,
yeah, and you know what? That's a bit of a shocker to me. I never thought that there was any real desire on Selena's end to skip, but here we are.
Yeah, I was surprised last week when we saw that happen, and yeah, I mean it was definitely a surprise for sure, and it did cause a little delay, I think, in their game, but hopefully they've got that ironed out. So we're underway, as we mentioned. Deschiffart having hammer here in the first end, and Kaitlyn Laws lead. Kristen McCush will start it off. Looking for the guard. I have noticed that over the last year or two, it's going to sound maybe not quite right, but it used to be almost all the women's teams would play in the rings for the first end, sometimes even the first two, and that's kind of changed now. Gotten much more aggressive in the first couple ends, which is exciting to see and much more fun to watch and broadcast.
I've noticed the same, Jim, but you know what? When we get to playoffs and those big matchups between top teams, they kind of revert back, and they'll blank the first end. So what's with that?
Yeah, I know.
You know, that makes me think they're not quite as serious about playing these junky first ends as the round robin would indicate.
Yeah, not quite willing to go with the what got you there kind of strategy all the time. So corner guard going up for a team out of obviously the University of Alberta, as virtually every under 25 or so team from Alberta is from the University of Alberta. Great program they have. It's right here we're on the campus, I believe, of the University of Alberta. So,
yeah, there's been lots of talk in the USA Curling Stadium, and I guess Stadium Sports does a lot of the USA events. There's a lot of talk amongst the member associations about getting a college or NCAA curling league going, and you know that's something that you have the Western and Eastern playdowns, and you have the nationals, university nationals in Canada. But you don't really have like a league, these teams kind of visiting other universities and playing their college teams. I'd like to see that take off at some point.
Yeah, that would be really, really exciting, really interesting and exciting both. So, goes way back to the old days when we used to play schoolboy, where everybody in junior, younger kids than this, but we're out of a school, we used to have leagues and stuff for that, but that faded away over years. So the outturn come around now for Deschiffart. And for anybody out there that's listening, if we do not have this pronunciation correctly, please let us know in the chat and we will fix it. We're not 100% sure that we've got this one right, but we're going to do the best we can. Not a bad shot there. Selena asking Jocelyn to just play the in-turn draw.
Yeah, seeing Kaitlyn down here sweeping It's been since the JJ days that we've seen any of this, so that's quite interesting to see.
Yeah, the other interesting thing to see now is that all of the skips that are at this level in both men's and women's, most of them, if they need to go out and sweep, they can. Like, it's not like it's you are losing it probably a little bit, but you're not losing a whole lot. Kaitlyn's pretty darn good on the brush. Just got to get this by.
That really started taking off, Jim.
Yeah, we were here last week, as I mentioned, and the ice was terrific. Had all kinds of curl, had decent speed, and for this early in the year, especially, it was really great to see that teams could come out and go right at it. So Deschiffart with an opportunity now to sit 2 with Hammer here in the first end. We got a little help in the chat on the pronunciation, so we're going to try something a little different. Thanks, Linda, for that. This one's got to curl a little bit. Quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a big pop.
Yeah. Ooh.
Just a little too much.
Yeah, a little outside motion and a lot of weight, really, for that shot, I think. So, combination of the two is not a good combination, and Team Laws has got a little opportunity here to put some heat on. Laws went 4-0 last week before losing in the quarterfinals of the Spiel at the Saville shootout here. Deschiffart was in that as well, and she went 0-4, but really only one game that it appeared that she was really out of.
Yeah, we mentioned this last weekend, the last tournament at the Saville. This is year-round ice, so if these guys want to stay fresh throughout the summer, they have that opportunity.
Yeah, it's amazing. Something certainly that you didn't see many years ago for sure. I see it in the U.S. as well. A lot of the clubs in the U.S., a lot of them have just got their own facilities and everything, and a number of them stay open all year. They run summer leagues and things like that, which is amazing to me because I've never seen that in my lifetime up here where you had, summer, even spring or fall curling leagues as such that would go into the summer season a little bit. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that one out, Jim, in my various curling travels to the States. I think part of it is because the facilities are more privately ran.
Yeah. And
as they kind of pitch their business plan, the investor wants to hear that there's going to be services offered year round. So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And then another part of it is that vertical marketing. Once a few clubs have that, the other clubs start going, okay, well, we don't want to lose business or curlers, or if Four Seasons has year-round ice, well, we got to have year-round ice too. So it's once you establish that culture, it kind of takes root.
So we had another miss on that shot. Second stone, Bethany Evans for Team Deschiffart. Just got a little wide left-hander that time, and she just got a little wide. And we have back-to-back misses. It's put them in some big trouble here in the first end. As Selena Negevin goes up now to throw guard. Jocelyn Peterman and Krista McCush on the brushes. Jocelyn just getting the old snowplow all the way down the sheet motion, which is totally legal for anybody that's wondering. You just have to finish away. That's pretty good.
Yeah, nice little half tuck. There's no run back to remove the rocks in the forefoot. But she'll have to, especially in the first end here with Hammer. She'll have to do that anyways.
Yeah, I think so too. You just got to open that up a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a chance here. So third stone, Abby Desormo, being asked to clean things up a little bit. Tuck delivery. Sort of a straight-on tuck delivery, a little different than some of them. Going to get the top one, but will she get any more? Well, she moved them.
Ooh. Worked out not so good. I guess it does expose that yellow for a promotion on the outturn side. But those reds are still lined up in a way where it's going to take 2 shots to get rid of the red stones in the rings. Deschiffart is going to, at some point, going to have to decide, do I just attack the forefoot and abandon the idea of cleaning this up?
Yeah, that's it didn't accomplish a whole lot, but this would be interesting.
It's also kind of decision time for Team Laws here, because they would have entered this end thinking, okay, a force is good. Well, I got a really good chance at making that happen, but at the same time, do you go for a big multi-point steal in the first end here?
Do you like this shot, Rory? I don't. Just the other option here would be to just play the straight guard on your 2 in the forefoot.
Yeah, I mean, you could just leave her that promotion on the yellow.
Yeah.
It seems pretty hard, especially for the first end.
So Selena's going to play a sort of a double or whatever, single run back on her stone to get rid of the yellow in the rings, or double run back, I guess. Really, really short run back. It's hard to call it a run back, but
worked out pretty good.
did it ever?
Kind of down weight, which I didn't really get, but yeah, I guess now you can blast those reds, and the danger may be gone for Team Laws. See, here's the thing, Jim. If you were going to play that shot they just played, wouldn't you play it to remove the yellow?
Yeah, but I don't get that. I would have figured that she would have played that at a little bit more. If she's going to play it, play a little bit more weight and make sure the yellow goes away, and for Laws, and now, it turned out, I think, better than I expected it might for Kaitlyn's team. I thought they might end up just opening up those back rocks and letting Deschiffart get a little bit out of trouble, basically. So, but they're still in a bit of a mess. They need to make something more than just a single here, and it doesn't look like she's going to do that.
Yeah, you can see her flip that rock inside. Oh, disaster, Jim. Peels her own out.
Big struggle here in the opening end for Deschiffart. There's just team just not real sharp to start here.
No, just some release funkiness. We saw Deschiffart really nail their draws to the button in the pregame practice. Like, they had those paths totally mapped. And so it seemed like they were the team that had a better grip on the ice here. But as soon as we started throwing some weight, Jim, we had a little case of the flippies and the turnies, and the wrists were not behaving.
Yeah, and we don't see that very often with the younger generation, if you will, that these teams that are coming up through, everything is usually pretty technically solid. They don't make a lot of misses on takeouts that are, as significant as these have been. I mean, we had 2 zeros, and that one there was only got about a third of the rock, so it's like pretty big misses. So Kaitlyn Laws with a chance now to kind of cap this and make things really difficult on Emma Deschiffart as she looks at a whole bunch here in the first end.
Interesting comment. I love these comments, guys, giving us some context here. So it's the ice here at the Saville is not quite year-round. Sounds like it goes out mid-May and comes back the beginning of August. So still a little bit of a break Saville Center has. It's still a very advantageous season to get practice ice that early in August.
Yeah, exactly. And what an amazing facility. 10 sheets here in the Saville Center, and it just looks like I've never been. I've been up in Alberta, I've been in the Duke, a couple other places, but I've never been to the Saville Center here, but it looks like it'd be an amazing facility.
Oh, it is. And it's not just curling. There's every racket sport you could ever imagine, like a dozen basketball courts. It's a massive community sportsplex, and the city of Edmonton really fortunate to have that.
Yeah.
So perhaps a guard? Maybe that's exactly where they were trying to come, but they're just reordering that big conga line of reds along the side of the forefoot.
Yeah. It's Emma's job here, throw it as absolutely hard as she can at the broom, I think could be what she needs to do here, because there's a lot of rocks to move.
Yeah, really, as long as you get these rocks behind the tee line and you'll have a makeable shot for one, that's kind of the goal at this point.
Well, exactly, yeah. Just make sure you have something. So it's going to be an in-turn run back, trying to eliminate at least a couple of rocks. She's not throwing it real hard, that's for sure. That's a little bit of a inside-out delivery on that one too, but got to get to the nose at least. Not quite.
These rocks have not moved all end long, Jim.
No, they haven't. No, we had one, we had two, and now we have three. Just kept moving them up. She will have a shot, but it's not going to be probably easy. She might end up having to play a cold draw into the 4-foot area to even just to cut down to one would be pretty darn good at this point, but I think she will. I mean, there's a way, and if certainly it looks like if Kaitlyn can put it there, just bite the center line, might make that next shot really, really hard. But with a little luck, she'll have a little bit of a court to get through.
Yeah, this position Kaitlyn's playing, this is what I did in juniors, was swept 2 rocks, went and held the broom for 2 rocks, and then threw the skip stones. It's really advantageous. You get to see the entire ice, so you get to track the weight and the pass from the sweeper perspective. Then you get to watch your third throw, the 5 and 6 rocks, so you can see the line. And then now with your heart rate at a nice calm rate, you get to get in the hack and throw. So as much as we think this might be a Selena Negovin desire to skip, this might be a Kaitlyn Lawes desire to keep her heart rate up and communicate with the girls in the front end. And maybe it's Kaitlyn that wants this type of throwing arrangement.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Right now, Emma Deschiffart probably wishes she didn't have to throw the last one. As she looks at 5 here in the first end, going to have to play an out-turn draw that they maybe threw in practice, but they haven't thrown in this end. Everything's been on the other side of the sheet and almost all takeouts. So this is not a fun shot to have, but she does have room, at least, Rory. She does have room to actually get shot rock, which I didn't know.
That's a really good point, Jim. Kind of the game within the game. When you're playing a defensive end or a chasing end where you're constantly chasing your opponent's rocks, you don't have a good sense of the draw pass. And you know what? On the skips last, that is likely the shot you're going to have. So that's kind of a good point. Adds to the difficulty of this shot.
So Emma Deschiffart now, Skiffert, I think is how we figured out we pronounce this. And she's throwing the out turn. She got the sweepers on it early. Everything's got to be good on this. Sweepers are going, but not going real hard. Starting to work a little harder now. Line's really good if she can get there.
Yeah, if the weight's good, I think she's got it.
Yeah, it's looking light. Will she get there? She will not get there.
Yeah, cold side of the sheet, Jim. Just hadn't had anything played over there. That's a tough guess. I feel for her.
Yeah, Kaitlyn Lawes will pick up 4 here in the first end with a big steal, and we will be back right after the break.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So we're back for end number 2. You can see a big 4 on the board for Kaitlyn Laws on the first end. That's a tough start for the young Edmonton team, Roy.
It is. I mean, 2 flashed hits from your second. It kind of paints the picture of the end. The rest of the shots, the next 3 hits, they didn't quite get the result. Like, they didn't miss them by too much, but they just couldn't run that red back and move anything in the forefoot. That situation stayed the exact same all end.
Yeah. And, we've said this all kinds of times over the years, but really in this situation, if you're going to give up 4, it's a good time to give it up, I suppose. But, you just don't go into a total panic here. Get a couple of points would be fine, but you do have to get a couple of points. So hopefully the girls can get it together and claw back into this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as positive as we want to be, whenever you go down by 3 or more, obviously it's not mathematically impossible, but you look at the numbers even on curlingzone.com. If you go to the analytics page of Curling Zone, it'll show you tour games for the last few years of both men's and women's, and you'll see once you go 3 down, that's kind of the net magic number. You really got to push because you have less than a 10% chance of winning the game. So we'll see some push from Deschiffart here, and this actually should be a fun end.
Yeah. So we got a draw, and then we got a corner guard. Now we've got another chance to come around the corner guard for Deschiffart, and we'll see if she can make this. This looks okay. Got to curl a long way yet, but it does have a lot of finish here at the Saville Center. The little hopping action that we see so often now. That's a very nice shot and very nice sweeping job. Cena looking for a hack weight hit here on this rocking the biting the 8-foot. Kind of a universal sign for that hack weight is when you reach down and touch your foot, ankle, somewhere in that area. It's almost for almost every team. That's a hack weight call. So, Jocelyn Peterman.
You're right, Jim. But you know what? I hate reaching all the way down there. I'm going to come up with a different one this year. You've inspired me to change the narrative on that.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. I'm only 5'4", so it's not that far a reach for me. So it's not so bad.
Sometimes you'll see guys point their broom at the hack. That's not as common.
Yeah. She dug that out of there. That's the benefit of all the curl. All the curl is really nice when you're trying to catch up and things like that. And sometimes it's you'd like it to just be all that curl for your team, because sometimes no matter how good you make it, they can get it. But that was a good effort. We'll switch it up a little bit here now. Go to the freeze, the out-turn draw. Freeze are the one in the 4-foot.
You know, Jim, your point about the hack weight, I've always thought, why is there not communication technology allowed in curling? There's the famous story about Russ Howard. He had the flu or a cold or something, and they invested in some walkie-talkies or headsets. I forget what they were. And the ruling was made at that tournament. This is sometime in the 90s, I believe. No walkie-talkies on the ice. You can't use electronic communication. And then that's just how it stayed for the last, 25 years.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered, when are we going to revisit that?
That's a good point. I would be very surprised if it doesn't get, as you say, revisited. A little heavy on this one. She'll slide through the back, especially when you look at other sports. You look at football now, where you've got guys have had headsets on, and you look at baseball where the pitchers and the catchers have, the whatever they call them, their devices to talk back and forth, or at least indicate a throw, what pitch to throw. So. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that come down the pipe not too long from now. Actually, I would be almost surprised if it doesn't happen. So, good point. I never thought about that really until now. So, Peel coming up here for the Laws squad. Peel the yellow. Try to get this all the way out. They're both going to join in a little bit now. So that same out-turn freeze for Deschiffart.
Yeah, those corner guard peels can be tricky sometimes. You can't blast it on the other side, or else you risk throwing it into the rings and into your own rocks. So you have to roll 12 and a half feet all the way over the other side. So it's always a bit tricky throwing those.
Yeah, for sure. Bethany Evans now. Second stone for Deschiffart. See a lot more left-handers, especially the last 2 weeks. I've seen a lot of left-handers playing. This looks pretty good. It was a little heavy last time. Might be just about perfect this time. Very nice. Kaitlyn Laws with a 4-0 lead. Is probably not going to fool around with this. Oh, maybe she is.
Right on cue, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think there's two factors here, and I've noticed this over the last few years. You see teams more and more pushing their advantage. I think there's two reasons for it, Jim. One, playing pure defensive. I think the philosophy behind it is not as true as it used to be. I think teams are realizing if they keep attacking the middle, pushing their advantage, when they do have a good situation, they're just as likely to win the end as they would be if they're going to start peeling corner guards. It's getting pretty late in the end to use any kind of corner, so that makes sense. And so here's the other reason. I think this is becoming more important, especially to the top teams. You want to hold yourself to a shot-making ability that's quite high. Just because you're up 4 doesn't mean you're going to just embrace easier shots. This is a team that's not playing to win this game specifically. They're playing to win the season. They have goals beyond just this game, and I think it involves holding themselves to a higher level of accountability, and so they're going to keep calling shots that correspond with that.
Yeah. And sometimes a miss seems to work out pretty good, I think, because that was definitely not, from what I saw, the indication on the shot call for Selena, but it worked out pretty nicely.
No, top 12, yeah.
Yes.
Was the call, create some overlap there, but just a little heavy, and good audible by Kaitlyn, knowing that if they tick off the yellow and leave a hit and roll or a double, that's a disaster. So good sweep call audible by Kaitlyn Laws.
Yeah, and to your point earlier, Roy, the interesting thing sometimes is you'll see teams with they've got a 4-2 lead or something, and then they just go to all defense, and you're like, well, the other team's only scored twice, and they've only scored one ever max, so why do we need to really go all defense? If we just kind of keep going, we should be pretty good, in theory.
Yeah, it's some black and white thinking as well as just getting to a point where you're like peel corner guard good.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be that simple.
No. So,
especially now, you got 2 in the honey hole there. You're committed to guarding this center line now.
Yeah. And once again, Deschiffart finds herself in some trouble here. If Selena can make a good guard here, she's going to be forced with that same shot. Run the guard, or she follows Selena's previous shot down and sits on the corner. But again, it's going to take 2 shots to get shot. So, and the other team still throws in between your 2. So.
Yeah, they're up against it once again with no real clear way to draw for shot rock either. Something has to move if yellow's going to score.
Yeah.
You know what, the angles, Jim, we're seeing, let's get the overhead here. If you ran that guard, it's pretty long at this point.
Yeah.
Yellow, red, red. Do you think there is a way to double those reds off? I think just barely, yes.
Yeah, I think I would say the same. I would say yes, but just barely. And you might have to think about even coming on the inter and see if you get it to drag just a little tiny bit for you. So we're going to play a little, what must be just a little tap back kind of situation with the yellow. Maybe set another rock in on that side. Just trying to create something for her to have for really your last shot at this point. Abby DeZormo. Sweeper's not doing too much here. Getting going now a little bit. By that one. I'm going to hit that too hard.
I just don't know if the call was there the way they called it. Like,
were they trying to get that back onto the red? Was that their plan.
So there's a chance she was just heavy, but line looked good.
Yeah, I was thinking when they went down, I was thinking they were just going to play like a back 8, back 12 or something, and try to move both those rocks around a little bit so they could come off one or either on the next shot.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Keeping your shooter in a promotable position was really key there, and so as soon as you knew that shooter was rolling off, it's. But I can see Coach back there. She's got an iPad out. She'll keep track of these shots. This is all part of the learning process. And you know what? That U of A jacket means that this is an academic endeavor. They're going to keep learning and keep improving throughout their time with that jacket on. We've seen it time and time again. Good example is Gray Withers, Senior Gray Withers, playing last weekend. Is she playing this weekend? She must.
She is, yeah. I think I saw her name in the there, so.
That's a team and a skip specifically that have just year after year better and better and better, and that's a fully dangerous team at this point. It's not just a junior team or a team coming out of the college ranks. Like that's a team that can beat you on any day. So that's the goal.
Yeah, they beat Kaitlyn in the quarterfinals last week.
No, there you go.
This one's going maybe a little deep.
And once again, Jim, they with the audible, they find a great place to leave that rock, even though it wasn't exactly where they wanted.
She's got a little bit of an escape here, I think, Rory, if she can kind of throw the same shot they just played, move those 2 top reds and leave her own there, and hopefully Kaitlyn has to do something with it. And even if she discards, at least Emma will have the outturn. So, but she absolutely has to make something happen here to give herself even a bit of a chance on the last one, I think.
Yeah, I'm racking my brain right now trying to figure out how you get 2, and I'm not sure it's possible. Maybe. Well, is there anything on the outturn that'll make the top red spin enough that it leaves a pocket for you? And that's not for 2 either, though. Yeah, it's a tough situation.
Yeah. Yeah, getting 2 is going to be really hard here. She's going to have to get a complete miss on. She's going to have to make this and then get a complete miss on the next one, and she might have a shot at it.
Oh, she's a down looker, as my mom would say. Looks down at the hand as she releases.
Yeah, down looker.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's wrong. You see a decent amount of top players do it. I just was never taught that growing up.
Yeah, you're right. You do see some that do it, and some that do it quite frequently. I remember years ago watching Madonna do that. Madonna would look down 2 or 3 times on the way out with the stone, so I never could quite grasp that. I think if I looked down, I'd be like, I wouldn't know where I was when I looked up, maybe. That was never quite that bad, but still. Big trouble for Deschiffart here in the second end. Looking at a couple. Kaitlyn Laws puts this back where she had the last one. I don't know if Deschiffart can find a way to score.
Here's the thing, though, Jim. I'm seeing a shot for 2 now. Right? You got that intern hit, double them off, and count your first one. So
yep.
This needs to be either blocking that double or beating that yellow counter in the 8-foot. So, there's a possibility for 2 now.
Yeah, I think yeah, I agree. If she doesn't happen to make this one right, for sure. The intern side would be a little bit maybe safer to kind of get an either or kind of out of it, but at this level, they don't like to think about either ors. I don't think so. She's going right in on top. I think same as the last shot.
Yeah, I think this time you want it where that last one was. You want to put it right in the top 4. Right in the pocket.
Just a little clean for the sweepers here. It's going to be close.
Just a little bit of curling to do. Looks really nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know, Roy. Do you think if you hit that hard enough on the outside that you might get them all moving?
Yeah, for sure you could get them all moving, but are you going to keep your shooter? That's the main question. So to blast the open one that you can see hard enough to to scoot the other red out of the forefoot, I think you're going to end up hitting it too hard to hold on to your shooter. The other bad news is it goes into your own yellow as well.
Yeah. Be interesting.
We're going to find out, though, Jim.
Yeah.
That's the call.
We hope so. Hit about half a rock, I'd say. It'd be the half, or maybe a hair more than a half would be what you need. And
I guess so. So which rock are you counting then? Your shooter, as it kind of jams into the other yellow?
I think so. Yes. As long as if it jams into yours, that's the one I'm thinking is going to count. I don't know that you can throw this in a way that you're going to count two, but again, not throwing it. There's just not enough speed on some of these shots, I don't think, for what I'm seeing on this situation anyway, to score. I think you might be able to eliminate or minimize the damage here, but you're not going to move things enough.
Well, they're close. 1, 2. Yeah, so I think that answers that. There wasn't there for 2, but I think with a little more weight, Jim, you're right. That could have been a shot to score.
So, yeah, anyway, yeah, it was a great shot for Emma, though. That's what she was playing, I believe. I don't think she really thought she was going to be able to score and trying to minimize the damage of making a double. She did that, but she will trail 5-0 when we come back after the break.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Good morning once again, and welcome back to end number 3 here at the Saville Curling Club, basically, at this Saville Grand Prix. Jim Nix with Rory McCusker bringing you this one here on Curling Stadium, and we are witnessing a little bit of a case maybe of the younger team just not maybe sensing a victory is possible here. Rory, we were just talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, to me, the Deschiffart team, I mean, understandably a little starstruck. These are some of the best curlers in the world. Not to mention in the country of Canada. Sometimes you go into a game like this and the thoughts creep in your head, oh, well, they're just so much better than us. Like, there's no way we can win. And the focus just isn't quite there this morning for, especially in the middle of the lineup, teams getting Deschiffart. But that's okay. They're going to keep plugging away here, try to learn the ice, get better and better. On the Friday of a tournament like this, obviously you want to win your games, but a big part of it is just learning how the ice is going to be that weekend. Another big part of it is how your body is going to react that weekend, what your slide is looking like, how that in turn is curling. You know, is my kick good? How am I reading the times as I sweep? So there's still a lot of valuable learning to be done, even if the game gets out of hand, which it seems to be going that way.
Yeah, if they could have escaped that first end with a 1 or a 2 or something, maybe it's a little different. If they can kind of hang in there sometimes for 2 or 3 ends and then you start to feel a little bit better and think like, okay, well, we can play, but tough when you come out in this situation, you drop 4 right out of the gate. So I'm sure that they've had conversations with coach and how to approach these situations, and I'm sure they will talk again as the game goes on here and do the best that they can here and just kind of try to salvage a little bit out of this. Still, it's like you say, it's Friday. It's first game of the Bonspiel, so they got a long way to go in the Spiel. So lots of things you can learn and take advantage of here that you can use later on in the event. So we're here right till Sunday on the Curling Stadium. So we will see you again and probably see both these teams again. So
That's a good start to build off of. That's a nearly 100% end for the lead. Team Deschiffart got a little unlucky there with the ticked corner. It looks like that got within like a half inch of the board. Did not quite get the corner guard replacement, so they'll have to put another one up.
Yeah. Bethany Evans, second stone for Team Deschiffart. Bethany's out turn. Do want to make this one good. Needed to sit down a little bit. Good shot.
Yeah, high the rings. Good enough, for sure.
Jocelyn Peterman now with the peel attempt on the her intern on the corner guard.
Just really lucky that Team Laws did not send that corner guard into the boards. They ended up getting a rock in the side of the forefoot out of it. Well, not anymore.
No.
Some unintended consequences of that peel attempt. You can see Jocelyn's reaction. That is funny here. Let's see how that went down. So it starts with an intern corner guard peel. Bam, bam. And not even her shooter sticks around, Jim.
I know. And then ended up in a pretty good place for the Edmonton squad as well. Hard to believe that had enough oomph on it to move all those rocks, to be honest. I was surprised at it. Everything's pretty quick.
All right. This is always an interesting decision. Are they going to take on the double? Yes, they are. The risk here is that you stuff it and you leave your shooter as a kind of low corner guard. But, you know, just because there's a little bit of risk doesn't mean you shouldn't take on a shot that's really gonna clean up the end for you.
Yeah, I would agree.
Let's take this one from the... There we go, the dual view. I always like seeing what the shooter will do with their release. Nice straight throw from Selena.
It's curling pretty
Didn't
hard.
Quite get to the broom though.
No. Corner guard going back up again for Deschiffart. I don't know exactly how far they'll go with these corner guards. At some point, you might say, well, time to split the house. They certainly could split the house and be a long way apart. So still 4 rocks to come, so a little bit early yet. Sweeper's not doing much right now. Might be a little warm. Really don't want to be too deep on this. Don't need to sweep it at all, I don't think. Well, they might get away with it, but it's definitely not where they wanted to be.
Yeah, especially earlier on in the end, you want to make sure you're leaving those guards up. If anything else, just tempting the opponent into ignoring them and drawing around. That's the dream.
Yeah,
But when
exactly.
you keep putting them in the rings like this, it makes the shot call very obvious for team laws. That's a big chuck from Selena. Really pushed that one back outwards.
It's just going to get the one, but does have maybe a shot rock.
Yeah, but you gotta treat that like a guard, I would say, and lock another one in there. They're gonna choose to split the rings. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a tactic to secure your 2 points. But if you wanted to build a big end, I think you got to in-turn draw around Selena's rock there.
Yeah, not a ton of room between those two, but yeah, I see what you're saying. The only problem with it, I guess, if you come around, you corner your own, and then you play the run back, short run back, and everything's gone. But
absolutely, yeah.
I think
no, that's the risk for sure. But once you've decided I'm going all out for 3, and I'm gonna take whatever risk is necessary.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
This is more the textbook call. And as they swept this to make sure they get even, that really sailed Jim.
Yeah, it slid there pretty good. I didn't think that was going near that far, but.
So I've noticed from my competitive play as well, in third, fourth end, especially, those inside-out draws to the wing tend to just sail. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know what the physics of the ice or what makes that the case, but you always got to be really careful throwing a draw to the wing in that third, fourth end. The ice just seems to be lightning quick. Wants to just keep going and going.
Yeah, it's interesting. There was a time when we always thought everything going to the wings is going to dig in as it gets over there, no question, but it doesn't always happen now.
Yeah, first and second end, that seems to be true, but something happens by the time you wear a couple paths down, and it just wants to cruise.
Kaitlyn Laws now going to try to remove the second.
There's that trademark slide all the way down the sheet, Jim. She stayed in her tuck all the way to the far hog line.
Good opportunity here, though. Like it's, you can use that one there to protect this particular rock and at least force Kaitlyn to have a little bit more difficult shot on her next one. You can line it up right. I'm a Deschiffart. And out-turn freeze. Gotta be perfect with this one if it's going to help you at all, but curl a little more. Will it finish enough? I think it will.
And just before it runs out of rings, Jim, I think they got second shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, Roy. Do you think that would they have been better off playing that straight freeze right to the back one, regardless of if they were going to be second shot, or do you think that that was a better plan, what they did here?
Well, again, Jim, I'm coming to the sort of outturn side, to the opposite side. Try and score 3.
Yeah.
Make Kaitlyn throw a run back. Short run back it is, like you said, but a run back's more difficult than a hit. So I'd be challenging Kaitlyn to make the more difficult shot for sure. Try to sneak a 3 out of this end.
Yeah. I think I'm going the same way, but I'm going to play it right back to the back one and make her have something a little bit more difficult than this one. So. And that's gone. Well, have a Deschiffart now with a draw for 2, I think, isn't it? Taking a lot of time thinking about it, but
No, yeah, they're for sure shot back there, and this is kind of one of those ones where both teams are happy.
Yeah.
Laws is fine giving up 2, getting that hammer back in the 4th, and Deschiffart was playing a tactic all end to get 2, so they're happy as well. Both teams happy with a draw for 2 here.
Yeah.
Looks like she considered kind of going the same path as her last one, but you don't want to do that. You're going to run out of rings. The area you can score is so low. Got to be confident in a draw to the full 8 right down the pipe here.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are times when you draw kind of that way, but not in this case where you're going too far out. You're going to give yourself a really small scoring zone if you go that way. So
nothing wrong with talking about it, though.
No. Crucial shot here, though. They definitely need to make this one. Sweeper's not touching it. Here we go. I always like to see a broom down if it's close. It just fools me as a broadcaster, but it also I like to see that broom down at the start if it's in the neighborhood of where I want to be. So this looks good.
Nice shot.
Yeah, nice shot for Emma. She's got to feel good about that one, and she'll pick up a 2 here, and she will trail 5-2 going to the 4th end, but feeling better, I would think. So we will be right back after the break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
The other spiel. Welcome back to Edmonton in the Saville Community Sports Center for the Saville Grand Prix. We've got Kaitlyn Laws and Emma Deschiffart. Kaitlyn got off to an early 5-0 lead, Corey, but Deschiffart picked up a couple there and got to be feeling a little better about things.
Yeah, it was a good end for Deschiffart. They made much more of their shots. The front end played better. It was kind of one of those ones, though, like both teams were happy with how it was setting up. Deschiffart was A-okay with kind of playing a tactic for 2, and Team Laws was A-okay just hitting the open one and playing the more risk-free shots. So both teams kind of signed on to that deuce fairly early.
So Deschiffart now forced to be pretty aggressive here anyway. So she's going to see a couple guards go up. Would ignore that rock in the house, I would think, for a bit and see if she can turn something into a steal of 1 at least here to get within a couple of points at the break. We don't really have a break probably, but if we did, it would be after this end. This one's a little long, I think. Go right around, maybe.
Yeah, jumped on that plan B a little too late.
Yeah, it's just not. You got to be. You just can't go that deep. You throw the first one up there. You gotta be able to just add a few feet, but not slide it into the rings.
Two options there once you know that's heavy. So you can get the carve sweep on it and try to get to the nose, to the red as much as possible, or you can try to straight sweep and get it around. Kind of a bit of hesitation there. The Deschiffart team did neither, and now you have kind of the lesser ideal miss.
We'll blame a little bit of that or lack of communication on the early part of the season and let them off the hook just a little bit on that. But That's what it's going to take. It takes that on those kinds of shots. You got to really communicate. Sweeping is not all about power and speed. A lot of it is making sure the caller in the house knows exactly where everything's going.
And as a skip, I can tell you that rust is tough to shake off. It takes weeks and many, many games to get your feet back under you. You end up leaving in these early season games. You leave the ice with a lot of regrets. Oh, I should have called this sweep this way. I should have bailed on this plan earlier.
Yeah.
That just takes time, and some teams catch on earlier than others. I'm definitely not one of them. You know what helps though is watching a lot of curling on Curling Stadium before you hit the ice. This is your preseason training, Jim.
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those troubles we have here in our area, in our club. Most of the junior teams that come up there, there's usually only one of them. They don't have a lot of people to play against and stuff, but most of them, they love to play, but they don't really ever want to watch anything. And that's one of the best ways for them to learn, because most of the skips are just skips because they happen to be the one that throws it the best of 3 or 4 of them. My daughter used to skip and did pretty well at times, but she never even liked to watch any curling. And, so it was always a challenge. She's learning as she goes from people that haven't not curled any more than she has. So that's tough.
That is a very good point. That is, sometimes teenagers, you can understand why watching a 2.5-hour curling game is not the most entertaining concept to a teenager.
Yeah.
I was the exact same way.
Yeah. So Jocelyn Peterman peels the guard off, and Emma Deschiffart will put it up there again. She needs to get a little break on one of these guards, and she's got a little bit of a setup in there that's not perfect for her yet at this point, but Bethany Evans looking to throw another guard.
Yeah, at this point in the end, they're looking okay. I mean, they have one up there. This is the sort of extra layer. Yes, it is guarding a red stone, but when you're in a must-steal situation like this, you're all right with that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So when throwing 2 guards, you're looking for separation and lining them up. So they line them up pretty well, but not a ton of separation. So double peel likely available here.
Yeah, and Jocelyn is somebody that can throw the up weight pretty good. So she should be really close to making this. If she doesn't, it is possible she ends up running it back on her own, but everything would be gone and open if she does. So
it's been good peel practice for Jocelyn today. She's thrown a lot of these.
Well,
we'll just take the one.
Yeah, got away with it. Skipper looking to come in here by the look of that call. Kind of corner freeze the red. I think I'm probably putting up one more guard, but she's going to go in.
Yeah, it feels like at least one rock too early, but
yeah,
you got to get there eventually. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah. This looks pretty good. They get it by. They won't get it by. Not so great. Unfortunately, pretty easy peel, double peel here. Just almost anywhere on that right-hand side as we look at it here. Both the guards will go. It is possible it runs back on the red, but it doesn't make for a good situation for Emma and her team. Selena now on the out-turn peel. Another person that can throw it hard when she needs to.
1 and 2. Makes no mistake.
Yeah, that pretty much hit it in the perfect spot. So
All
just
right.
yeah, she hasn't got much now. Would you throw up one more guard and try to take your chance that way, Roy, or do you just she's sort of playing the hit and roll off the one on the off the edge of the center there, but
just depends what you're trying to do. If you're in a must steal mindset, yeah, you got to keep throwing guards, and then I think you're coming in on your very last one. There's a lot of room to hide behind that that red in the top 8. You can get shot behind that. So
yeah.
This is more of a tie game scenario type call in my mind.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, we're just trying to get out of this and we're not going to try to steal now, which I understand. There's not a lot there to work with, and this looks pretty good.
Ooh, too good. What a nice throw.
Just had to hit a little thinner and she would have had that.
Yeah, a bit more sweeping, hit a little thinner. That nice, hard, straight throw, though.
Yeah, impressive. I like that, yeah. Yeah, because it seems like so far they've had a few that, that I thought they should have thrown significantly more weight than they've thrown, and they just haven't. And that was nice to see like you say, nice straight throw, solid weight. Just half an inch thinner, and she makes a double. Unfortunately, now she's still going to be in a position where she's going to maybe be forced to give up a deuce, with nothing much she can do about it, but see what happens. Selena splits the rings, try to even these up a little bit.
Yeah, it's basically in the perfect spot because it's the freeze on the sort of half buried one was sort of your only way out of the end if you're Deschiffart. Now that freeze isn't going to be shot over this redstone, so really nice placement.
So Emma Deschiffart, despite being down 5-2, kind of forced with just hitting this and hoping somehow she maybe gets a rollout or something on the next shot from Kaitlyn Laws and escapes this end. But a lot of things have to go right here for you not to give up 2. Thanks everyone for joining us this morning. Got a pretty good crowd out for an early morning game on a Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of choices for what you're going to watch this weekend. We got the ATB Okotoks going on as well, but you're not going to get the production value and the company that Jim and I are giving you.
Yeah, exactly.
This, Laws versus Deschiffart game.
Yeah. And Shorty Jenkins is on in Oakville, or not?
That's
Oakville,
right. Yeah.
Cornwall.
That one is a party. I've been to the Shorty Jenkins Classic, and that community supports that tournament and that club very, very well.
So nice throw by Emma there. Did manage to get it to roll 3 or 4 feet to the right, which you think doesn't really matter, but it might. It might give you a shot at a double somewhere along the way here if things go your way. But it's much better than just having them hit it out in the 8-foot. At least this way, if they want to separate, they have to move them a little bit. I don't know. You had, I was gonna say, do you have an overhead, Rory? Handy, quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, she rolls a little bit to our left as we look at it on the overhead, just even a little tiny bit. She might give Emma the chance at the double, but no hit would take that away for sure. Okay, thanks. Kaitlyn Laws said last week, I always thought she's one of the best throwers of the stone around. The delivery to me is really, really good, really nice. There's a lot of them like that for sure these days, but I just always liked the way she threw the rock. Working hard here. Don't want to. Yeah, she's going to get a little roll back out. So unfortunately for Deschiffart, kind of in a position here where unless she was really, really gutsy and wanted to freeze that rock at the back of the 4-foot, and she might. If she doesn't, she's going to basically say, well, I'm going to give you 2. And the freeze is no guarantee.
Yeah, just a little thought on this Laws team. Seem to have kind of, in the quadrennial, the 4-year Olympic cycle, they seem to have plateaued a little bit over the last few years, but the potential is extremely there. Like, this is going to be a team competing for a spot at the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
And, Kaitlyn, a proven Olympian herself, an Olympic gold medalist herself. This is a team that could easily find another gear and win that tournament. So definitely a team to keep your eye on this year, especially.
Yeah.
The experience is there. The training is there. These girls work really hard. And if they can just kind of find that next level against the other top teams, they've had no problem kind of beating teams ranked lower than them. But if they can best on best get that game in order, this is a team that could do more than very well. They could be representing our country.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, during this particular quadrennial, I mean, you had family stuff coming into everything, and people getting married, having babies, all that kind of stuff, which does make it, make it a little bit tougher to manage your year's planning and stuff. So
for sure,
now they think if they can really turn it on over the next couple months here, you never know.
Yeah, potential is definitely there for them to be the top team in the country.
So Emma opted to go to the freeze, which I admire, at least the thinking, and unfortunately that was like so close to being really good. They had been able to hold
almost
it
got
out
there.
Yeah.
My question would be, Jim, why now? I didn't really see them playing the end to force. It seemed like they were kind of okay with trying to make a double, trying to make a hit and stick, and then now all of a sudden on the skips last, you're gonna pull out the freeze. If it was a must steal or must force end, I thought we'd see some different calls kind of down the middle, but
no, I think you're right. I think the other thing too is you can't play a whole end just kind of hoping they're going to miss some shots, and you gotta have some strategy that takes you in a way that you're going to make some shots, some really good shots, and put some pressure on, rather than just say, well, we'll just keep plodding along here, and we get late enough and they make one mistake and maybe we can force them to take one. That just doesn't usually work at this level. It might work in Wednesday night mixed lay or something at your club, but not out here. Kaitlyn Laws with a hit for 3. And a chance to really kind of put this one maybe on ice. It's indicated a little up, but it doesn't look very heavy to me, so.
Ooh, you can see it bite. That curl is really kicking in. They will get away with it.
Yeah, they pick up a couple, and a little bit of a missed call, I think, there. They certainly seems like they could have probably got their 3 there with a little bit more enthusiasm about it. But anyways, regardless of that, they do pick up a couple, and Team Laws will lead 7-2 after 4 ends of play here at the Saville Grand Prix. Be back after the break.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Oh, apparently they do have a fourth end break in this spiel.
It's
After all, last week there was no fourth
it's
end
kind of
break.
up to the players, Jim. And you know what? I saw the Laws team go to the hog line. They wanted to keep playing, but no, Deskiffart's got their system. They've got the little meeting.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea for that team in this situation. I think it's not a bad idea to kind of get together, talk about whether, how you're going to approach these next couple of ends, what the goal for the next end or two is going to be, and all that stuff. So probably making the right decision for a young team that's trying to figure out how to make things work.
No, absolutely. Totally agree. And I think a good point is you can't let the other team pressure you, or not that Team Laws was trying to pressure these girls into getting going, but you don't want to let the other team determine what you're doing. Play your own game, have your own system, and yeah, that's what they're doing. So while they're Jim, I'll sneak in another ad break. Thank you so much to our sponsors who support streaming live curling for free to all the fans out there.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
So we're back, and we're back on the ice, ready to go here. Fifth and number 5. Kaitlyn Laws, 7-2 leader over Emma Deschiffart from here in Edmonton. Been a struggle at times for this Deschiffart team for sure. Did put together one nice end where they did come up with a couple, but unfortunately last end gave that 2 right back, and really are, in a really tough situation here now where they're just probably trying to play situational curling, if you will, where maybe ignore the scoreboard a little bit, but just let's plan on getting our 2. And we know that's not maybe enough, but doesn't matter. For now, that's the plan. So,
yeah, better third and fourth end from Deschiffart for sure. Made a lot more shots, especially down the middle of the lineup. And yeah, it's about getting your feet under you and staying sharp for the rest of the weekend at this point. 5 points, 4 ends to go. You could try some crazy stuff, but that's just not what we've seen. Like you said, situational curling. It's a good term.
Yeah. So center guard up for Laws. I don't know if that's exactly where they were trying to go or not. It doesn't seem like they would be trying to throw guard short there, but maybe. Corner guard back up for Deschiffart. Now they come around for Team Laws. Way out there. Got it back to the center line. Emma's going to go around the corner. Very common setup here. We haven't seen as much so far this year, but I'm sure we will see a lot over the course of the year, where you've got the center guard up, the corner guard up, they come around the center, come around the corner. So pretty traditional sort of a start to an end.
Yeah, the leads making their shots. They got nothing to do with each other. You do your thing and I'll do my thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Working hard here. They're going to have to go to get this one on. They're not going to quite get it there. Okay, spot, but not quite what they're looking for. Selena now.
I love this fifth rock at the end, Jim. It requires a lot of thinking. You see that look on the skip's face a lot when they're throwing this fifth rock because they can't peel yet.
Yeah.
And it's always a bit of a scrunched face. Like, what do we do? Like, how do we not hurt ourselves right now?
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. Coming right in for Jocelyn Peterman. Working hard on this one, trying to get it over. And we'll go pretty well where they were trying to be.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think either a little higher or a little, more straddling center line would be a little better because now they can remove this and roll in the rings. Kind of a 2-for-1 sort of shot.
Anthony Evans looking to, as Rory said, try to hit and roll on the rings. Definitely a possibility. Looking close to the nose, but
didn't get much action on the roll.
No, just a little too thick, or maybe needed a hair more weight to make that happen. But spread things around a little bit. Might give her an opportunity on the next one to ignore something, maybe get around one of those guards, which pretty much has to do anyway.
Hey, as a team with Hammer trying to create offense, this is a very good playground to work with. You got many guards. Like Team Laws is never going to clean up all those guards without Deschiffart getting at least a few rocks in the rings.
Yeah.
So now game on. This is a good situation for the Yellowstones.
So Kaitlyn coming down to talk about it a little bit.
Jams abound. Many different ways that this could jam on the back red.
So she's playing off of that corner, like playing kind of the double on those yellows.
Looks like it.
So.
Hoping it goes over top of the T line.
I don't know that I get it. It's still gonna be a corner there that she can use. So this we'll see what happens. Jocelyn's gonna try to make this. If she makes it perfect, it's good.
It's been a big weight game for Jocelyn. Well, it's a peel weight. 1, 2. Just barely avoids the jam.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured out at the end of it. I was thinking of that. That's what was in my mind, is you might make this double and take your own out on the other side, which maybe isn't the end of the world, but be much better for Deschiffart than just peeling that one. So going around the corner, it looks like.
Still, this is advantage Deschiffart. Like, that's a lot of obstacles out there. You're going to be able to draw around them quite easily, but hitting in between those rocks is going to be more challenging. So, yeah, definitely opportunity here.
Well, for sure, yeah. You bury around on this one and assume that she might rip that guard, then come around another one, and who knows? Three's not even out of the realm of possibility here. But you got to make 8 in a row for first, I think. So, Anthony Evans now. Throwing her in turn.
That's biting pretty early. A lot of curl. They'll need it.
I'm just going to sneak it by. Might want to help it a little bit.
No problem. That's a really nice shot.
Yeah, great shot. Okay,
shot stone not so important on that one. Just getting it buried.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think to be shot, she was going to be too much open anyway. So
here's the decision, like we were talking about earlier in the game, Jim. It's the traditional logic would say just keep hitting yellows that you can see.
Yeah.
Peel that corner, and then you'll have access to that yellow one. But with 4 rocks left coming from Deschiffart, there's more than enough. You can freeze on the back red, 2 red guards to draw behind. It's just you'll never clean all this up. So I was kind of partial to the draw around the middle call that Kaitlyn first indicated.
So a negative now. Turn peel on the yellow. Will she get both? She won't. She get her own. She won't. So she almost hit everything, but didn't hit any of them. So just say a good situation though for Deschiffart here. Certainly a chance to get pretty close to being back here. You're going around something, aren't you? I can't imagine playing the freeze to that one on the other side. That doesn't seem to.
I don't think the line is possible.
No. Oh yeah, true enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time to come in. You've got more than enough guards. I don't think you need to throw any more guards. I think you've got enough red junk to work with that I just got to start using it.
Yeah. I think this shot is whichever way you think you know the ice better, because on the surface it looks like it's an out-turn draw around the high guard to me. I know you can go through the port, but I just think why muddy it up a little bit? It's just you're going to end up in the same place, and that's where they're going to go eventually. So
yeah, that's the kind of golden spot in the rings right now. Is that top 4 area behind the centermost guard? You got to occupy that zone before anything else.
Yeah. Bethany Evans just threw a nice draw around a corner guard on her first shot, so should be pretty close on this.
I think we'll have some pretty entertaining shots coming down the pipe here, Jim.
This one's curling pretty hard. Got to get it by. Can you sneak it by? She's a little light.
Yeah, I think just wait. I
Yeah.
think with the right weight, that gets by.
Yeah, it's too bad for Deschiffart.
I mean, that's the way to miss, though, like leaving something else up there.
Yeah.
So, keeping with that traditional logic, Jim, they see a yellow one, so they're going to hit it.
Yeah.
That's 3 rocks left for Deschiffart to hide behind the rest of these. Is still looking pretty good. This is still advantage Deschiffart in my mind.
Yeah. Selena throwing a out-turn hit on this one in the 8-foot, biting the 8-foot.
Yeah.
So might roll too far.
Really confident throw going inside out on that. You'd see a lot of teams play the in-turn just to kind of float it. It's the more natural way to make the hit, easier to manage. But the advantages of throwing inside out is that the rock is going to kind of spring off the roll. It's going to sort of action itself towards the middle. So it's the more confident way of throwing that shot. It's the better way to get the roll. And yeah, it's just a sign of a well-practiced, confident athlete in Selena Negevin.
Rock did a little funny spin at the end, but I don't know. I still think this looks like an out-turn shot to me, but they're going to play in-turn through the port. Or maybe not. Look. Well, it's a pretty small port, I guess. It's just both of them are pretty small ports, but
yeah, I'd be tempted into just going all the way around, like big wide in turn and try to get shot rock that way.
Yeah. Abby does Ormo. Used to make this one. This line is really good. A little heavy. Which would explain why they weren't trying to help that a little bit. I'm watching it thinking like most teams are going to try to help that a little bit, get it to curl past that red. They just let her go, but just that little tiny bit heavy.
Well, you know what shot I want to see her play, Jim, but is that the right shot?
Okay.
Kaitlyn's got just such a nice, straight, hard, big weight shot. I want to see her just throw a bullet through that hole.
Yeah.
Just for the visual entertainment.
Yeah.
Not sure that's the very best place to be, but That's what I want to see. No easy way into the button area. Both holes kind of over curl the button, Jim.
Yeah. So, a little mini conference here with Jocelyn joining the back end to have a little chat about this. And we don't hear them sometimes either. So sometimes you're kind of thinking like, why did it take so long to call the shot, and the experience and everything that these guys have? It doesn't seem like it should be something that requires a lot. But sometimes they're discussing perhaps just really more about weight and ice and stuff like that we don't hear. And they aren't necessarily debating the shot call. So
yeah, you're talking about the rest of the end as well. You're talking about, okay, if we do make this, what's she going to do? And, that determines a lot as well. We've had a pretty on pace game so far this morning. I got no complaints.
No, we're good.
Nope. Forgot I was using that camera to follow Jocelyn.
Well, you got you got your wish with this shot anyways.
I did. All right, let's follow it from this way.
Planning on it not moving at all. So
let's watch Kaitlyn's release here and how she's going to be able to get the straightest motion on this rock possible. Sliding down the center line and pop. That's how they throw it now. Looks like just a little bit of an over pop, but no, right through the hole. And that's pretty darn good.
Yeah. It does put that red one in a little better position for Deschiffart to be able to use than she had a minute ago, because I think you can go through that hole now and maybe be able to stay for shot rock.
Here, let's take a look at that. Kaitlyn Laws hit through the port again.
Yeah, big weight. As we said before, pretty much this whole team actually throws the big weight nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not extreme big weight. It's just whatever seconds that would be down there. But nice throw. So the Deschiffart now is going to struggle a little bit to turn this into more than one. But for now, she'd like to be shot rock.
Jeez, I'd be throwing more of a backline out turn through the wider hole. This seems difficult, and I'm not sure you're going to get shot.
I like the out turn better too. It just, the port looks really small up there, but still, it's there. And this port's not huge, so.
I just think the line's going to take you too far on the other side of the forefoot. But they can prove me wrong here.
Yeah. You got to get by this outside one first, though. I don't know if they're going to make that. They are not going to get by that high one. And actually, I don't know if she was out a little bit or not, but that really didn't really, consider she's a tad on the light side, didn't really move much. And she's going to have a heck of a difficult shot on her next time to even score.
I just don't think that was going to rest as shot rock. I think if she gets through that port, it curls all the way to the other side of the forefoot. I didn't have the vision of that shot, and I guess neither did she, because ends up throwing it pretty far outside.
Yeah, in my mind, I was going by her previous players, whichever one threw that one down there, that in that direction, and it curled a little. It was a little bit heavy, and it curled right to the back of the forefoot. And I thought you might be able to hang on and bite the button, but it was not going to be easy. I still think the other one was, even though it looks hard on here, but it does look like it would end up being a better spot.
Well, we did get quite an entertaining end, Jim. Once we saw those guards up there, we knew something was going to happen.
Yeah. Reminder to everybody, we are here all weekend, right through to the finals on Sunday, so feel free to join us at any time. We will have commentary of many games and look forward to the weekend. Kaitlyn Laws now throwing a guard. Trying to do two things here. Trying to take the port away and maybe make it a little tougher to work with that outside yellow as well. And that's probably what she's going to do if it doesn't overcurl.
Those are tough. Those are tough guards to throw when you cross the center line like that. It's just so tough to manage the line properly. Might have done the trick though, Jim. Might be high enough. But
yeah. No, I agree. I was going to say that. It looks like it may not look like it worked, but I think it probably did, because now it's really hard to get through that through that port on the out turn without throwing it too hard. She's going to try. She doesn't really have a lot of choice, I don't think, Rory. That in turn around the outside in the red doesn't probably get you shot rock. This is probably the only way she can score, is going through here with something like, I'm thinking somewhere around that back line to maybe not quite hack, but back line weight.
Well, she's got to throw more weight than she would have on her first one. If she played this shot before Kaitlyn threw the guard, I bet you could throw back line. Jim, I think you got to throw pretty heavy to get through that hole now and stay straight.
Yeah.
It's a really tough shot. Not very natural.
No, not at all. Probably the difference between playing another end and not after this shot, to be honest. Looking at 4, she's probably going to score or give up a whole bunch here. So tough shot for Emma Deschiffart. We'll see how she gets along. She hasn't actually had a horrible game. She just didn't have a lot of early support, but
yeah, yet another tough shot this game. But you're going up against Kaitlyn Laws. That's
I don't know if she's got enough. Can she sneak it by? If it sneaks
maybe.
If it sneaks by. Oh, that's so close. I think she has that if she gets by.
It was very close, Jim. Sweepers almost held it.
Yeah. Perfect weight. And a big 3 here for Kaitlyn Laws and in number 5, and we'll take a 10-2 lead. And we'll see if they're going to keep going here or they're going to call it a day. Looks like you might have to take a break to find that out, right?
They're in the discussion right now. Let's just hang on.
Okay. I'm good with that.
This is who they're looking at each other. They're looking back and forth, and the hands come out.
Yeah, so a tough day for Emma Deskiffart's team, and just a really rough start, and just couldn't seem to recover from that. So lots of time. She got 3 more games in the round robin before this is over for her, as does Kaitlyn, and both of them will proceed to the next round. Whatever time that is, and we will we'll say goodbye for now. So on behalf of Rory McCusker and myself, Jim Nix, thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you again as the weekend moves on here from Edmonton at the Saville Curling Center.
Thanks very much, folks. Lots of curling left to watch. You can jump on over on our YouTube page to any other game going on in Alberta this weekend. See you next time.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Live Curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.